Florida, Representative Jen Carlisle, Amplify Clearwater, Amanda Payne, Tampa Bay Beaches Chamber, Robin Miller, our project architect, Bill Fisher, Josh Baumstein and Rob Wilson from our GC Creative Contractors, Jeff Lampasso, most important, our banker, our board members, John Draheim, Paul Auslander, Vice Chairman, Linda Griffin Keeler, Eric Bush, Tom Orr, Phil Beecham, Frank Chevis, Roland Milam, Dr. Rod Anthony, Vic Caserta, Colin Devine, Deborah Garthier, Nathan Hightower, Don Mandeville, Jim Martin, Jim Resnicek, and Brian Stamey. Our former CEO, David Yates. The inspired guests we have here today, they're very, very special. Levi LaRochelle, Eliza Richard, and Victoria Rubio. Now we are standing on the first floor of the Ruth and J.O. Stone Dolphin Complex. The Stone family is here with us today, and we are honored to have them come to celebrate this event. So the Stone family, please raise your hands. This complex and the project is a culmination of a 14-year dream for the state-of-the-art dolphin facility to house those dolphins who cannot be released back into the wild, and so they have a forever home where they can enjoy the good and wholesome life and an enriched environment. The 5 pools in this complex total 1.5 million gallons, including 9 viewing windows that were designed with the input and collaboration of some of the world's leading marine mammal veterinarians and scientists who provided us with their expertise. As an aquarium and rescue facility, in addition to having limited space in our pools for our dolphins, we have always struggled with not enough space for our guests and inadequate parking. This magnificent project provides us with both the space for our dolphins, 3 times the space that we had in the past, 5 times more guest space for our guests, and almost 400 parking spaces for guest vehicles. Earlier last week, Nicholas and Hemingway were the first dolphins to be relocated in these new pools. On Friday, Winter Hope and PJ joined them in the pool behind me. While these moves may seem like a non-event, they are certainly not. It takes a lot of pre-planning to deal with it, and a great deal of pre-planning to deal with these relocations. These moves were made without incident, and I would like to recognize our animal care team, our dive team, our veterinarian team, our facilities team, and our volunteers and others who had a part in these transfers and made them possible without incident. Behind me is our Kate Tiedemann and Ellen Cotton main dolphin pool and observation window, the window of wonder, made possible by their generous support of this project. The observation window that you see is 40 feet wide, 14 feet high, and 12 and a half inches thick. And it weighs 52,000 pounds. They didn't take it over the Memorial Causeway Bridge, they took it over the Bel Air Causeway Bridge because of the weight. It is one of the biggest acrylic windows in the state of Florida. Today we are introducing you to part of phase 1 of our $80 million project. Exhibits will be ready on this first level by the end of August for everyone to come back and see. The remainder of the state-of-the-art project will be ready for the general public in the fall. I would like to thank our staff project manager, Mike Hurst, VP of Zoological Care and Operations, for overseeing this project, Judah Rubin, our owner's rep, architect Bill Fisher, our general contractor, creative contractors, and all the many subs who have kept this project on target during its construction. I would also like to recognize our public partners, the County and Visit St. Pete Clearwater, the City of Clearwater, the State of Florida Department of Cultural Affairs, as well as all of our private donors and stakeholders who have made this project possible. We are very proud of this community asset and know that once the coronavirus is behind us, the aquarium will make a huge economic impact to our region and afford a fun and educational opportunity for those visitors who come here through our doors. Now I'd like to invite John Draheim up here to say a few words. He's our board chairman. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Frank. Welcome, everybody. It's great to see everybody here, and it's wonderful on this great day to be able to open up this first phase of this huge project. When I was thinking about today, I thought about the journey that we've been on to take us here. And it started back after David Yates brought to Clearwater Marine Aquarium the 2 Dolphin Tale movies. Those movies informed the world who we were, what our mission was, and people started to come. And just like Frank mentioned, we were swamped. We were swamped with people. We had no room for people. We had no room for automobiles. They were all over the neighborhood. And most importantly, we didn't have room for the dolphins and didn't have room for any more dolphins to be able to rehab them and to carry out our mission. So we looked at different ways of solving that problem. We had the movie pool behind where I'm standing right now. That was showcased in the movies where Winter was first rehabbed. We had a huge surface parking lot out here, and we went through multiple designs of trying to figure out what we could put here to give us the more space that we needed for cars, for people, and for animals. One solution to that was when we tried to take this facility downtown. And we thought it would be we had the space down there, we bought a piece of property, we thought that might work. But unfortunately, that just didn't work out for us. We weren't able to coordinate everything that needed to be done in the time frame that needed to be accomplished. So we came back here. And right after that happened, Mike Hurst, who is in charge of our animals, said, you know, we need to design a place for our animals. And he reached out into the world, actually, and across the country, and he brought in 6 or 8 experts of people who had designed aquariums, people who were veterinarians, who knew about what it takes to properly house an animal and do it in a healthy way. So Mike and all these folks sat around a table here in the Island Way Grill one afternoon back about, I think it was 2014, and started on whiteboards to draw out what it would take to maximize the use of the space that we had. And what resulted in that is the design behind us. It's designed to make sure that it maximizes the health of the dolphins that we have in there and maximizes the ability of our animal team to properly house these animals that can't survive in the wild and the ones that we're able to keep here and let people see what's out there and what happens when we damage the people or the animals that are in our environment. So thank goodness that that turned into this facility, and now we have a wonderful facility that can properly care for the health of the dolphins. It allows us to bring in more dolphins, allows us to house the dolphins that we have, and it's now become truly an asset a real community asset for the city of Clearwater and also for the Tampa Bay area. So I'd like to acknowledge and thank the county commissioners for giving us the money that we needed to build a big piece of this. I'd like to thank the city of Clearwater for the money that they donated to us, the state of Florida for the money that they gave us to also do this. I want to thank our board of directors who raised the first $1 million that got us started on the capital campaign that let us bring in the initial funds to start putting this all together. BB&T, who stepped up to loan us the additional funds that we needed. Also want to thank Frank Chevis for all that he did in putting in his energy and his fundraising in order to bring us the money that we were able to begin this facility. I don't think I've left anybody out. I also want to thank all of our CMA donors for stepping up and providing us with the funds to get this whole project going. We're proud of it. We're happy about it. We can't wait now to get this huge area behind you opened up here very shortly in a few months, and then I think you'll see the full scope of the work that we're able to do to carry out the mission that we have. So thank you again for attending, and thank you very much for being here today and being part of this opening. I mentioned David Yates. David stepped down as CEO a few months ago, but 14 years ago, David came and took what was this old broken down sewage treatment plant and made that work for us for all that time. He brought the movies in. It was his vision, and he was really the visionary that thought about all this. I remember back when I first came on the board 10 years ago that he had a picture that he had drawn of what he wanted a facility to look like in the future. And all of us on the board at that time said, "You must be smoking something, David, because we don't think you can build anything that big or anything that wonderful for us." But he made it happen. He brought it, his vision continued. It was what we designed that was going to go downtown, and then ultimately it was the design he took for the animal care behind us and also the big building behind you that's going to allow us to fully carry out the mission that we do every day. So David was a visionary. He was the brains behind all this. So I'd like to introduce our former CEO, David Yates.
Well, John, you can keep going if you like. I was enjoying that. You don't have to stop. Thank you, John. One of the last things I got to do as my former role as CEO was I got to award John in February at the Winter on the Beach, the Frank Chevis Positive Impact Award. John's been the board chair for most of my time. God bless him. Most of my time here, he had to oversee me. But John's done an amazing job. So round of applause again for John Duralheim and his great role here. It's a great job. So I have 4 words for you. I have only 4 words. That's not all I'm going to say, but I have 4 words for you. Dreams do come true. I'm going to say it again. Dreams do come true. 4 simple words. So I was hired, as John mentioned, back in February of 2006. And if you weren't here at that time, you'd have to understand, it'd be hard to describe kind of where CMA was. The mission was great. The cause was great. We didn't have the infrastructure. We didn't have the facilities to do our job the right way. So what I did was I looked around saying, what can I do to help CMA out right now today? We're a few months away from closing down. And I looked around and we had a young dolphin we'd rescued named Winter. You may have heard her story, right? And I said, I'm gonna go tell that story to the world with 2 goals. Number 1, inspiring kids that can relate to a dolphin that's gone through a very serious life challenge and they can connect to. So make her famous, change the lives of kids. And we have some kids, right, young men and women here today that have had their lives changed. I've met tens of thousands of children, literally tens of thousands over the years of kids and families have been inspired by Winter's story. So making Winter's story famous to inspire kids, number 1, but number 2, to make sure we drove the world awareness about our mission and what we're about. So as I told Winter's story in documentaries and media and movies, it also made CMA's work well known around the world. So they learned what we're about and what we do. So those are the 2 things I tried to do. Tell Winter's story to inspire people, but at the same time, drive awareness of our mission and what we're about. And that was designed to do 2 things on that end also. Number 1, help us refurbish our current building. If you saw our building back in 2006 that we have, it was not in good shape. So we had to refurbish that as soon as we could, as quickly as we could. And we had a lot of help in doing that with the city, the county. Frank Chevis oversaw that. So we had to get that building up to speed as quick as we can, but also with the long-term goal of this. So this for me, what you're seeing today is a 14-year dream we began literally 14 years ago. And it's come to fruition. Literally back in my first board retreat back in 2006, I told the board, I want to use winter's story. This is long before movies, long before anything else about winter. So I want to use winter's story to help us get to a new facility. That's the goal. And 14 years later, we're finally here. And this building finally, I believe, really matches the mission CMA has. The mission we have is amazing. Now we have a building that matches that mission. There's been a lot of teamwork. John mentioned my vision. It's not just my vision. There's been a lot of people involved in this. I was honored to lead it. Now Frank's leading it very, very well. A lot of people got involved in this. I want to recognize 3 people in particular at the board level that really helped me during my time at CMA. And that is Frank Chevis, who's not here today. We all know Hurricane Frank. He does everything, right? Gets everything done for you, right? Frank Chevis. John Drawheim for his great leadership, many, many years as a board member and board chair. And also Paul Oslander. Those 3 in particular put a lot of time into me as I led CMA. I want to thank them and acknowledge them for that. This is all done by teamwork. It's not one guy or one gal. I know Frank would say the same thing. It's about teamwork. Speaking of teamwork, there is probably nobody in our area that I can think has done more for CMA in a lot of ways with the various hats he's worn, from being a mayor to a council member to a citizen. Frank Hibbard has done enormous things for CMA. He's been a supporter of mine, of Frank's. He's been a mentor of a lot of people. His vision helped us craft what we're doing right here today. And everywhere along the path, he's helped us, again, whether as a citizen, a mayor, or as a council member, or a CMA board member. Frank has done a great, great job for us. So please welcome to the podium, Clearwater Mayor Frank Hibbard.
Thank you, David. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming out and taking some time out of your day, because really this is a day of celebration. It's a day to celebrate the realization of a dream. Clearwater Marine Aquarium is such a fixture, not only in Clearwater, but in Pinellas County and the Tampa Bay region, because of their mission: rescue, rehabilitation, and whenever possible, release of animals. Clearwater is an international destination. CMA makes it only that much better. We're all Floridians, so we know that you can only take 2 or 3 days in the sun. Then you need to come to CMA for the day and enjoy winter and all of her friends. But I just want to thank everybody who's been involved in this process. It has been the city. It has been a partnership with the board. The volunteer base that CMA has is extraordinary. The number of hours that are given by the volunteers to make this institution operate so smoothly, so seamlessly. If you have watched CMA over the years, I know you've been inspired, as I have been, by the lives that have been touched. When a child comes to this facility and sees Winter without her tail, and they are missing a limb, and you can tell that they are changed. That is the same with our military personnel. And so we have to celebrate the fact that we have this tremendous asset within the city of Clearwater and Pinellas County. And I just thank all of you. Please get the word out about what a wonderful gem Clearwater Marine Aquarium is as they continue to grow and expand, teach our kids about the importance of marine life and the environment and how we can make it better. Now I'm going to introduce Steve Hayes. He is the CEO of Visit St. Pete Clearwater. I've always thought it should be Visit Clearwater St. Pete, but Visit St. Pete Clearwater, they had a huge hand through the county with bed tax to help realize this dream here today. So please welcome Steve Hayes.
Thank you, Mayor. And one of the words I've heard today is vision and a dream. And I think for the tourism industry, when you think about vision, and especially as we look forward, it's about experiences. And this expansion that you have, this new addition that you have here at Clearwater Marine Aquarium, gives us another experience to help tell guests coming to our community. Everyone knows that we have 35 miles of wonderful beaches, but it's the other things that make up our communities that help tell the story of what we are. And if you look back to when the Clearwater Marine Aquarium was created to where it is now to where it's going, it is incredible. And it helps us tell a better story, not only to bring new visitors here, but to go through and bring existing guests back to our community. The other part that I think is for this is how it seamlessly comes together. And part of it was just recently there was the opening for Winter the Dolphin Beach Club that goes through and talks about preserving the environment where it's right on the beach, but it goes with the theme of this organization and what it means and what it does for the community. And I was in this area previously. In the 7 years that I was gone, to see the leaps and the bounds of the progress that was made here was incredible. But I always remembered the responsibility of going back to our natural resources. The fact that you can come and see dolphins playing and rehabbing, the fact that they've got the turtles, the fact you have all of this here is incredible. Now that you can stay on a property on the beach is even more incredible. It just adds to the overall experience that we can tell in our community. Tourism is a $9 billion industry in this community, and it's by working with organizations like Clearwater Marine Aquarium and the staff here, we can help tell that story and get more people to visit, get new people to visit, because it is an incredible thing to see. Whether you're a child, whether you're a family, or whether you've retired, I think it appeals to everybody. We are so happy to have this part open. I know there's some additional things that are coming that really help tell our story, and I really want to thank Frank and John and the mayor for having us as a part of this. Awesome job, guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you. So that I can follow the very precise directions given to me, I'd like to introduce now at this time Kelly Jordan, the Chief Development Officer.
Thank you everybody for coming. So now is the best part, the ribbon cutting. I want to thank all of our speakers, Mayor, Steve, Frank, David, and John. We appreciate you so much. I want to invite Paul and everyone to come up. And the Stone family, if you could join us. All right. Probably put them on. There you go, sir. You want to hold? Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, we'll do a countdown. On 3, 3, 2, 1. There we go. We invite everyone to explore the new Ruth and J.O. Stone Dolphin Complex, and thank you for coming.